In this video we'll cover log probabilities, what they are, how you can see them and what they do and their effect when it comes to using temperature. So to start with, you have this sentence called I am learning about logistics. If I click submit here, notice how GPT-3 starts outputting the next sentence and a couple of sentences. But what's quite interesting is if you look in the bottom right section, we have this show probabilities option where we can look at the most likely, least likely, the full spectrum. So let's click full spectrum and then again let's run that on and with click submit. Now notice most of the text here is green, and the reason for this is if we look at the log probs, notice how they are incredibly likely. So log probabilities are showing us this is the most the most word that was most likely to come next by 94%, followed by involves. After that we had the, a, and all define, followed up by process management. So basically what's happening here is GPT-3 is predicting what is the most probabilistic, the most likely word to come next inside of the output. Now what's quite interesting about this is you can see most of it's green, which means it has a high probability of coming next. Let's take a different approach and just go over to the top right and change the temperature to be incredibly high. Remembering that the temperature will change the amount that the log probs work in change with the sampling. So let's have a look here. So you can actually see that when we've changed the temperature, we're now starting to get some types of tokens which have a lower probability of being represented. And this allows our models to potentially have more variance. So one thing that can be quite nice to do is to increase the temperature and also increase the best of. Now be careful when increasing the best of, because that basically means that you're paying for 7 requests rather than 1 request. So it's 7 times more expensive. So the temperature gives us that extra variance inside of our output, whilst the best of can help to, do lots and lots of searches and come up with the best one. Yeah, increasing the temperature is going to mean that you're more likely to get less likely words that are predicted that come next. And as you have a higher temperature, you're more likely to get a varied output, and a lower temperature is going to give you log probabilities that are more realistic and more well defined, and so the output will be more similar. I personally find that a temperature of around 0.7 is pretty good. But yeah, so hopefully that makes you able to understand log probabilities. In terms of content detection, I would personally say this piece of text is harder to detect by an AI content detection algorithm. The reasons why is that by having these lower probability words in there, algorithms that are trained to detect GPT-3 text won't do as well on the second sentence because some of it is more varied.